Again, thanks for attending our webinar this month on credit-based marketing. My name is Tim Turzin. I'm the Senior Sales Executive here at LKCS, and I will be going over the presentation with you guys today. So first thing, for those of you on the line that have not worked with LKCS in the past, just a little bit about us. We are a full-service marketing company, and we deal primarily with financial institutions. We've been in business since 1961. We've dealt with financial institutions the entire time. And all of our products and services really revolve around what our financial clients are looking for, needing. So that's where we come up with a lot of our products and solutions. So on the screen here is just a quick graphic showing some of the products and services we offer. Obviously, not everything is up there, so we do quite a bit. So if there's something else interesting that looks interesting to you, feel free to reach out to me at the end, or another rep here at LKCS, and we can definitely discuss all of that with you one-on-one. So today we're going to get into our credit-based marketing and credit prospecting to be specific. So what is credit prospecting? Credit prospecting is a proactive marketing strategy that's going to target your account holders and or prospects. Okay, so we can target your specific account holders. We can target people that live in your specific area that may not be account holders. We can do a mix of both. So it's either way you want to go. We can do them both or together. All right. So what we're going to do there is actually target for refinance opportunities. So people that already have loans that are not with your institution, we're going to try to get those, moved back over to you. And then obviously we can target new loan opportunities as well. So looking for people that meet, the right criteria and demographics for certain products or services that you have. We're going to reach out and try to get them to bring in that new loan opportunity for you. And the best part is here, it's all based on actual credit bureau data. Okay, so we're actually using the 3 credit bureaus, and we'll get into that as we go. So before I get into all of that good stuff, we're going to go over what the credit bureaus and why we use all 3, and then a little bit of ground rules of what we have to do when we're using this pre-screen data from the bureaus. So again, we're going to purchase the actual data from the bureaus, and we use all 3 credit bureaus. Okay, that's a little bit different than some folks. All right, some people only use one bureau, or they use who they like to use, which is fine. But we like to have the relationship with everybody, and why we feel that's important is not all of the bureaus are going to have information on everybody at once. Okay, and what I mean by that is, especially in today's age with technology, I can apply for a loan right now, and I can apply online, and I have no idea what bureau that information is actually going to. Okay, it could be going to a bureau that I don't normally work with, or you don't normally work with. Okay. So by using all 3, we're getting the latest and greatest data pulls, so we're not, missing anything, nothing slipping through the cracks there. By doing so, we're actually going to see up to a 70% increase in the leads we're getting back when pulling data from all 3 as opposed to 1. The big benefit for everybody here is there are no additional costs, all right, to get this data from all 3 bureaus. We have special pricing set up with the bureaus. We pull from all 3. And it's one flat cost covered to go across the board for you. So you're not paying each separate bureau for the feed. You're paying one fee. It covers everybody. And it's much cheaper than going directly to a bureau. Okay. So a little bit more on why I like that 3 bureau or using all 3 bureaus. And if you look at the graphic at the bottom, from 1 to 2 bureaus, you're going to get about 40% more leads, and 1 to 3, 70%. And again, just because you prefer to work with one doesn't mean your account holders or prospects are shopping with a company that uses that exact same bureau. So that data may not be fresh to them. They may not have it yet. Yeah, they might get it in 4 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever it might be, but that's not helping you today when we're trying to do a campaign. So we like that, what we call incremental lift, by using all 3 bureaus all the time. So on top of the credit bureau data, okay, where's the rest of the data coming from? Because we can do a lot of different things here. All right, so we actually multi-source credit and non-credit data to create a unique compilation. Okay, so of course we're getting the information straight from the credit bureaus, but we're also actually pulling demographic information from Axiom. We're pulling property information on homeowners from your county deeds, county records, things like that. We're pulling automotive information from your dealerships. We're doing automated valuation models for home values. We actually can calculate LTV on home loans for you. And then we're doing householding for persistent responders. So we can actually group people together in a household or separate them and mail, to each individual in that household if you choose to. But it all comes down to we can basically hit 1,100 data points on 215 million consumers. Obviously, we're not going to be mailing to 215 consumers for you, although if you'd like to, I'd be happy to quote that. We're going to target market, and we're going to really specify, exactly who we want to really kind of look at and who fits, our demographics, who's our, prime account holder. And we're going to target those specific people. So again, when using credit data, we have to do a few certain things to be in compliance. But number one, and this is the most important thing, is you always get to specify your lending guidelines. So we are only going to market to the prospects and account holders that meet your specific credit criteria. And that credit criteria can be based on all kinds of things, including FICO, LTV, credit history, you name it. We probably have a field we can search on it. But when we do this, we have to do what they call a firm offer of credit. We can only use this data when we do that firm offer of credit, and I'll talk more about that on the next slide. We also have to be compliant with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and the big benefit here is LKCS is going to help with all this. Okay, you're not alone. We're not going to send you out to figure this out on your own. We're going to work with you and work with the bureaus to make sure everything is done as it should be done. Everything's working with compliance, all that good stuff. So we're not going to get anybody into any trouble doing this type of thing. Okay. But what is that firm offer of credit? When we use credit bureau data, that marketing material has to include the following things. Number one, we have to indicate that the recipient has been pre-selected, pre-screened, pre-approved, or pre-qualified. Those are the terms we have to use. Doesn't matter which one of the four you use, but it has to be one of them. There are going to be terms and conditions or eligibility requirements listed or stated. So basically, we're going to tell them, based on X, Y, and Z, you're pre-approved for this product. Okay? But we are also going to state in the disclosure area why credit may not be extended after all. So just because we're doing a pre-approval campaign and we're telling them they're pre-approved, you still have the final say when they walk in the door. Okay, they are not guaranteed anything, and we let them know that. So we basically tell them, yes, based on X, Y, and Z, you're pre-approved for this product. However, you still have to come in, you still have to fill out the full credit application. We still have to verify that nothing's changed on the credit pull from the day we pre-screened you to the day we're actually going to do the loan, verify income, all that other type of stuff. You still hold all the cards. So we let them know that. Basically, yeah, there's a 99.99% chance you're going to be pre-approved and everything's going to be fine. However, if anything changes or something doesn't check out, we can walk away without giving you anything, and that's okay. All right. We also have to state a minimum dollar amount for which they have been qualified for, and that's going to be based on the product. So obviously, we don't have to offer a minimum of crazy amounts, but we can say, hey, you've been pre-approved for a minimum of a $500 credit card or $5,000 auto loan or whatever it might be. Okay, so we don't have to go crazy, but we do have to give them a baseline or a minimum to meet. We can state maximums, but we don't need to. The minimums are what is required. Okay. There's also going to be opt-out notice and disclosure information on how that recipient can get out of receiving those pre-screen mailings or notifications if they choose to do so. All right. There's information from all three bureaus that they can go out and basically say, exclude me from any future data pulls. Okay. So with that, let's actually talk a little bit more about what credit prospecting is and really dive into a few examples and ways we can use this to generate business. So here's a few things that are available for pre-screen marketing campaigns. new auto loan possibilities, new mortgage loan possibilities, home equity lines of credit, any type of auto or mortgage refinance opportunity, credit card campaigns. Okay, so anything that you might have a loan for, there's probably a way we can actually pull data. All right, we can do unsecured, type mailings and different things like that for this as well. But I mean, you can use your imagination. If you have a way or a loan product that you want to look at some credit data to get some better offers out there, let me know and we can figure out a way we can get that done for you. So again, we're going to pre-screen existing account holders or reach out to credit qualified prospects who live in your area or areas. Okay, so again, we can look both sides of the fence here. We're going to extend pre-approved offers of credit to those account holders and non-account holders based on actual credit information. Again, you get to set the criteria to identify those recipients that are going to qualify. All right. You always get to specify. Okay, and that's I can't stress it enough. I know there's some people out there that do similar things that only let you look at certain pieces of information. They don't let you basically run any type of credit criteria you want. They limit you. We do not. All right. Once we pull this, we have to send out a direct mail offer. We can do an email offer or make an outbound phone call, whatever it might be, to one of those people. You have to reach out in some way. Typically, it's by direct mail, email. We have statement-based campaigns for those of you that do statements with us. We can put them on your statements or outbound phone calls. Okay, so you have to get in touch with them somehow. Any of those ways work. We'll help you with all of them. We can actually send out the direct mail, do the email, and if you do statements with us, obviously do the statement-based campaign. On the outbound phone call, we would not make the calls for you, but we would help you, get the script ready and all that good stuff and get that to you. Okay. We also have a reporting and tracking system called DataFlex. It's a separate piece to measure the results of those campaigns, and not just these campaigns, but any campaigns that you might do. Okay, so it's an MCIF alternative type system. So if you have an MCIF system and think you might want to look into something different, or if you don't have one and are looking to get into it, definitely let me know and we can talk about that system a little bit later. So I'm going to jump into a couple ways to leverage credit data to actually generate loans. All right, these are examples, so you can be creative and brainstorm things that make sense for your institution and adjust this criteria as needed. I have made this up. Okay, I have put the basics out there just to get you thinking of how you can use it. But again, we can adjust these parameters to whatever makes sense for you and let it fit your guidelines and goals. So a couple auto refinance possibilities. On the left, a lease expiration campaign. In this case, we might look for people that have FICO scores of 640 and above. They do not have any auto late payments or auto repossessions on their record. They have a current lease, and that lease is coming due in 1 to 3 months. If that person has a leased vehicle and it is coming due in 1 to 3 months, I will guarantee they are in the market for another vehicle. Okay? I have not yet met that person that has an auto lease that turns the car in and walks away and starts taking the bus or riding their bike. Okay? They're going to be in the market. So this is the time to get in front of them, let them know how you can help them, how they can buy out that lease if they want with a loan, how your loans may compare to a lease, how they can save money, whatever it might be, whatever angle it is. They're in the market. It's time to hit them now. On the right side, a loan payoff or a refinance opportunity. We're going to look for people with FICO scores of 640 and above. We're going to exclude those late payments and repossessions that might be on anybody's record. We're going to look for people that have a current loan balance of greater than, say, $5,000 or whatever that minimum is that you would care to have. We are also going to make sure that there is a minimum savings on their monthly payment. So I actually calculate this information before we purchase records. I can calculate if you tell me, hey, I want to make sure I'm saving these people at least $20 a month on their auto payment. If I can't save them $20 a month, they're probably not going to come in anyways. They're not going to come in to save $1. All right. So we can actually specify what that minimum is or what you're comfortable with, and only buy those people that we know we can save, that $20 or whatever it is a month. Okay, so we're not wasting marketing dollars to go after people that either A, we can't help, or it's not an enticing enough offer maybe for them. A couple other potential campaigns. On the left, a credit card balance transfer campaign. We're going to look for people that have a FICO score of 620 and above. Let's say they have a revolving balance currently at $10,000 or more. They are using between 30 or 70% of that credit limit. And, this number I like just because people under 30% typically are ones that are using the card and paying it off fairly quickly. And the ones over 70% are typically the ones that are abusing their card and getting into trouble. So I'm going to go with that sweet spot between 30 and 70. I want to make good interest money on these people and get that balance transferred over to me and start collecting that interest money on my behalf. So we're also going to make sure they don't have any current late payments. Okay, get that offer out there, let them know, transfer any perks that you might have, better rate, whatever it might be. Let's get in touch with them. On the right, looking at a straight conventional mortgage. In this case, look for people with FICO scores of 680 and above. They have a current mortgage balance of $100,000 or more. They do not have an FHA, VA, or reverse mortgage currently. We're going to look for people that age of their loan is, say, between 13 and 72 months old. Okay, as we all know, rates were really low about 3.5 years ago. They went up, and now they are way back down. So anybody that's probably got a loan in the past 3-4 years potentially has a much higher interest rate than what we can offer right now. So we can save them money, up to 95% LTV or whatever it is that you might be comfortable with. We can look for that, target those people, give them an offer. We could also do a payment savings example here if we wanted. I didn't put it, but you can. But those are 4 different ideas or 4 different ways you can actually use this data to generate new loans. When we get in touch with these people, how are we going to get in touch with them? As I said, you have multiple options or multiple ways to get in front of them. One of them is direct mail. Another is email. Otherwise, it's an outbound phone call. Again, LKCS can help with the direct mail and email needs. If it's outbound phone call, we will help you with the script, but the actual phone calls would be done on your end. Okay, so this is an example of a direct mail piece. Okay, it could be a postcard, it could be a self-mailer piece, whatever it might be. Everything we're going to do for you would be absolutely full color and variable data print. For those of you who don't know what variable data print is, or VDP, it means that we can basically change everything on the fly. You're not printing 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 pieces that are the same with the same offer. When we're dealing with credit information, everybody is unique, everybody is different. We're going to be offering different rates based on their FICO score, or different amounts, different payment examples, whatever it might be. All that stuff can be changed on the fly. So each individual piece is unique and tailored specifically for the person we're sending it out to. Okay. Personalized letter on the left, or a statement cover letter on the right. So on the left, this is just a normal letter that's getting printed, put into that number 10 window envelope. Again, everything's variable. So things like you're pre-approved or pre-qualified for up to, in this case, it says $35,000. The next person might be $25,000. The person after that might be $50,000. So that information can change. The graphics can change. We can actually put a loan officer on the piece, or a phone number to the branch they're closest to, or whatever it is. Everything's variable and can change on the fly. So again, I brought it up earlier, and I'm going to bring it up again with that statement cover letter. And this is something that LKCS does that's a little bit unique for our statement clients. Is obviously the biggest cost of any direct mail campaign is your postage. You are already sending out your statements monthly. You're already processing those e-statements monthly. So that postage cost is already there for those. All we're doing is taking the first page of your statement or e-statement and making it that direct mail campaign. Okay, so that same letter basically becomes page 1 of the statement, statement data flows behind on page 2, 3, 4, and you are saving that additional cost to send out a separate mailing. Okay? They're getting it along with their statements. And it's a way to make, obviously, your statements, more likely to be opened or looked at. If people start realizing that you're making special offers or doing certain things on the statements, they're much more likely to look at them. Okay? So it turns that statement into an actual piece of marketing for you that you can do different things with. And then email marketing. So obviously, a lot of people like sending email. A lot of people love receiving email. All right? We can actually do the same things with that email. So all that variable information, you go into that same thing. We can do it for you. Obviously, if you have an email system, we can potentially help you set up the template and all that good stuff. But this is one way. Again, you can get that information out to your account holders if you have that information on hand. But let's talk about going a step further. Okay? Because I'll guarantee everybody sitting down has probably tried direct mail. They've done certain things. They've done email blasts, and they're all hoping or wishing there was a way to actually do better. How do I increase my ROI, increase results? Obviously, data is one way. So obviously with the credit prospecting, we're targeting certain people with specific sets of criteria right through the credit bureau. So already we're targeting the right people. But how do we keep getting that ROI up? How do we keep getting increased response rates? LKCS has actually come up with another tool called our campaign suite. This is an add-on to any type of direct mail that you might be doing, but it's basically 5 marketing essentials. So the old way of handling direct mail is just outdated, and we heard it over and over and over again from all of our clients. So we built this system to seamlessly maximize marketing impact by operating on a 5-step process compared to traditional mail that operates on 1. So it starts with direct mail. We have an enhanced mail tracking feature. We follow that up with online follow-up ads. We hit it again with the social media side and Facebook. And there's also a call tracking feature. So we'll talk about all those different pieces, as we go. So number 1, how any direct mail campaign works, a mailing is sent out to that account holder or prospect list. Again, direct mail is tried and true marketing medium with unmatched targeting. You can do things with direct mail you cannot do on the digital side. It's just impossible. There's too much data you can get for direct mail that you can't purchase or get on the digital side. Okay, so that's why we like starting there. But we send that piece out, and basically we track that mail piece with a piece of barcode technology called the Intelligent Mail Barcode. What that barcode allows us to do is know exactly when your mail is due to arrive in that person's mailbox, down to the specific person. Okay? And you can verify it is being delivered as expected. There is an entire online dashboard that you can view all this stuff. So this is an example of that dashboard that you're able to see as soon as I put it in a projected date. Obviously, you don't see any green here because that pink confirm line has crawled over the top of it. So before this mailing even goes out, I will tell you with pretty darn good accuracy exactly when your mail piece is expected to hit mailboxes. So now I know when should the rest of my campaign pieces start. Should I send a follow-up email out after? Do I want to send an email out right before? I want to have my radio ads going, or any other pieces that you might have. Let's have them ready because I know the date everybody's going to see this in their mailbox. We can actually purchase a unique phone number. All right, so I can actually purchase an 800 number that ties directly to that specific campaign. Somebody calls that 800 number, it rings through to whatever phone number you want, and it starts recording as soon as somebody picks up. So you can actually listen in or listen back for the quality of your lead reception and sales processes. Now, you're not going to get hundreds of phone calls. People are not calling anymore. Very rarely are they coming to visit you at the branch anymore. But the ones that do call, the ones that do visit, it's important to talk to them, ask questions. The ones that call, especially with this, that we can listen back, is what questions did they have? Did they have problems applying for whatever product that was? Did they have an issue doing whatever? Can we make this process better and easier? Because if one person called and had that problem, I probably had another 100 people that had that same problem or issue. They never called me. Okay, so we're always looking to get better here. Again, that online dashboard has information for all this. So you get to see when those calls were, where they're coming from, the duration of the calls, and again, you can listen back to them as you go. The big part of this is the automated follow-up. Okay? So how this works is when a direct mail recipient visits your website, we put a tracking cookie on their computer. And they will visit your website. Okay? Stats right now are showing that at least, at a minimum, 90% of the people who are interested in anything are going to go online first. They're going to your website before they call, before they visit, before they do anything else. They're going to go online to do their own research. So straight to your website. We put that tracking cookie on. Google and Facebook then look for those tracking cookies. Once they leave your site and start going and doing their normal business, looking at the news, the weather, going to Facebook, whatever it might be, they're going to start seeing image ads matching your campaign design and offer, following them around. It allows you to stay in touch with these leads until they take the desired action, which is actually filling out the form or applying or whatever it might be. Everybody has seen this work. Everybody on the call has done online shopping, and probably everybody has shopped on Amazon. I will challenge everybody. Go to Amazon, look up a pair of shoes. Leave Amazon. Within 24 hours, let me know. You're going to start seeing ads for that pair of shoes that you looked up. That is the exact same system that we have here. They're just using the Google Display Network to show those ads, just like we are. So everybody knows how this works, and they see it work. Okay? So again, the Google Display Network, just like Amazon uses, is what we're using here. We actually take it a step further and also use the Facebook ad network, which is Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So that's covering some of the social media side. Basically, with the Google Display Network, that is the bigger one of the two. Google's renting basically millions of ad spots on all these websites. So that's where they're displaying ads for their customers on all kinds of other sites, right? People will ask, well, Amazon has a gazillion-dollar budget, so of course their ad's going to show. Google does not care how big you are. They do not care how much money you're spending. They care about relevancy over everything else. If that ad is relevant to the person they're going to show it to, they would rather show that relevant ad over a paid ad all day, every day. Regardless of size, regardless of how much money you're spending, relevancy is king. Okay? Google wants their ads to mean something when they're showing them, not just junk ads. They don't want to become obsolete or people ignore them or whatever it might be, so they want to show things that make sense. Okay, so don't worry, your ads will show. I can promise you that. What we see from this side of the campaign is that website visitors who are retargeted with display ads are 70% more likely to convert online. I am okay with that. I am okay with somebody going to my website and starting the process to get that loan. They don't want to be bothered. They want to start the process. Yes, fine, I'll come in and sign when it's ready, but I don't want to make the trip to the branch. I don't want to sit there and do all the documents in the middle of the workday. I'll do it online in my time. You let me know when I have to come sign. But the big number is 26% of customers will return to a site through retargeting ads. Now that number, it looks impressive, but it's even more impressive when you know this next stat. 96% of your unique website visitors are leaving your site without doing anything. So that means for every 100 people you drive to your website, 96 of them turned around and left, didn't do anything. Now you're going to get 26% of those people back. Now, is that 26%? Can I buy the second time? Not all of them, but I'm getting them back for a second look. And if I can get a few of them to buy, my ROI just went up quite a bit. Again, we have that dashboard that you're able to log in. You're able to see how many people are being followed online by those retargeting ads, how many times those ads have been displayed, how many times they've been clicked on by day. Okay, so you can look at it piece by piece by piece. On the social media side, same thing, except on the social media side, we actually have some different demographics you can show. Male, female, age groups, so you can start clicking on those buttons and playing around to see, and hey, I want to know, out of those 29,425 ads displayed, how many of them were displayed to people in the 25 to 34, age group? How many of those people were male? How many were female? And you can click and play around with that, and it's going to give you those stats as well. Okay. So what this brings to the table is a higher return on investment. By keeping tabs on that mailing with the easy-to-use online tracking dashboard that everybody would have access to, it's always easy to see exactly where it is and what's going on with that campaign. We're not losing leads. We're going to leverage Google and Facebook ad networks to display follow-up ads to those prospects to keep them warm until they're ready to act. People are going to use the internet. They are going to be on social media, use their ad networks to keep your name out there, your promotion, your details in front of them, top of mind. So when they're ready to act, they'll remember you. Okay? With that call tracking, it's going to allow you to see exact data, results, and allow you to listen back in and improve those campaigns on the fly, or at least for the next campaign. All right, so we're always getting better, no matter what. Lastly, costs. What are the costs for these programs? Well, the credit prospecting, pricing depends on several things. How many records are purchased? What are the demographic selects we're going to use? What are the credit bureau minimum charges? What are the setup charges? I can tell you that the credit bureau minimum charges, flat, you're going to be looking at a minimum of $750 for any credit prospecting type campaign you run. There's other variables that come into play, but $750 is going to be the base side. That's where it starts. Now, that includes 3,000 records. Okay? I've seen other systems that they charge you a bunch of money, and that doesn't include anything other than, I'll start looking for you now. Okay? This includes your first 3,000 qualified leads. All right? However, I can tell you that minimum of $750, and really it doesn't mean a whole lot. What I like to do is run a free list count and estimate. I can actually run counts to determine the feasibility and cost of your next pre-screen marketing campaign. If you have an idea of a campaign you want to do, hey, you know what? I really want to target, an auto refinance. These are the zip codes I'm looking into. These are the parameters I have. All you have to do is call me, email any one of the other reps here. We can get in the system, run that count. We will actually run that list and tell you, hey, in those areas with your criteria, you're looking at, 3,300 people that meet your criteria. So we can do a mailing or an email or whatever it might be to these 3,300 people. Here is what that list would cost. Here is what a direct mail campaign would cost. Whatever it is, we can break it down and give you an actual number rather than talking minimums. It's a lot easier. So again, if you're interested, feel free to call, email myself or anybody here at LKCS, and we can help you get that list count run so we can give you some costs on this. As far as the campaign suite side, that additional add-on is just pennies per piece, and it can be added on to any direct mail campaign. What people always worry about is, hey, I know with Google Ads, sometimes it costs, X amount per ad shown or per click or this, that, or the other. It doesn't work that way with us. All right. Pricing is fixed based on volume of the direct mail. So budgeting super simple. I will tell you right now, this program starts at $600. That includes up to 5,000 mail pieces, all the mail tracking, call tracking, retargeting ads from Google, Facebook, all that stuff running for 60 days. So basically 2 months for $600 add-on. And I will show that ad as many times as possible. There is no limit. I will gladly show that ad millions of times if I can. Okay? So again, if you have questions on this particular piece, what that add-on would be, again, just talk to a rep here, talk to myself. We will get you all that information. Thank you for joining the webinar today. That's all I have. So if anybody has any questions or comments or anything like that, again, feel free to type them into that questions toolbar. I will answer them. I'll stay on the line here for another few minutes and answer those as they come in. And again, if you have questions on anything I talked about or want some counts, estimates, anything like that, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. My information is on screen. And I definitely appreciate everybody's time. And I hope to see you guys again next month for our next webinar. Have a great day.